Okay, so this is basically going to be a course on how to build a 5 million GEO agency. 5 mil, just because I think the market is wide open for this and the market is just beginning, and there's going to be huge potential for people who get in there first and build some reputation very quickly. I'm not sure how big the market will be, but more and more people are going to use AI. More and more people in the next generation are going to be so used to using AI. And I think having brands show up in answers, having product services show up in answers is going to be extremely valuable skill to have. And starting an agency with that right now, I think is a really good place. So I'm going to really just go through this freestyling, but I might dot around the screen a bit and show you some examples and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it really casual, but I'm going to go through this step by step. So obviously building your agency brand, this is like your first step. I'm not talking about creating a logo. I'm not talking about wasting time coming up with a name. Sure, come up with a name, come up with whatever, a nice name, use ChatGPT to help you come up with some brand names, but it's not going to matter in the long run. What you should be looking at first, and what you should be looking at really, really taking seriously, is your positioning and your niche. Who are you selling this to? So define your market, your avatar. So is it going to be e-commerce? Are you going to help people with getting their products into showing up in ChatGPT? Is it going to be tradespeople? So are you going to help people who do plumbing, electricians? So it's more of a localized AI GEO service. Are you going to help lawyers, dentists? So I'd recommend picking an audience, picking an avatar. It's really important to do this because I think otherwise it just gets too competitive. If you're a GEO agency or you're an AI agency, trust me, over the next 2 years, there's going to be hundreds, thousands of these pop up. Most will fail, but I think you stand a really good chance of succeeding if you pick an audience. So let's say we pick dentists, and we help dentists get into answers of AI, and we do that through multiple ways. But obviously, we want to show up as a recommendation to people. If we're a dentist in the area that the person's searching for, if a person's got some questions about stuff, it'd be great if our information showed up as a source as well. All of this is stuff that we can help with. But yeah, in this stage now, we want to pick our positioning, we want to pick our niche. So then the offer. So what is going to be the offer? Now, you can go along the lines of sort of retainer based, where you're basically, you're doing the service for a nominal fee. Let's call it $2,500 a month, $5,000 a month, depending on your market, depending on where you are in your journey. At the start, maybe you want to charge a bit less, and then as you get more testimonials, you can charge more. But let's say it's a nominal retainer, $2,500. Your offer is what you're going to do for that money. So are you going to increase the visibility by how much? Are you going to promise how much? Are you just going to say it's going to increase? Do you do it monthly, like a rolling monthly deal, or do you do it every quarter? So these are some things to really consider. Now, I'd recommend, obviously, with SEO and with GEO too, it will be the same. I would recommend having a longer sort of turnover period in terms of when they should cancel. So I'd be looking at quarterly, every 6 months. That could be a break in the contract, but you can demonstrate this to them and say, look, this is a service with latency. The work we do today won't be shown for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So you need to agree that at the start, instead of having this monthly rolling where people just go, oh, it's not working after 1 week, let's just cancel. So if you go on the retainer route, I'll do something like that, a nominal fee, and you're increasing their visibility, and that's your promise, and you're going to make sure they're showing up in search results to do with AI, and you're doing all the things to help that. You can use visibility tools and reporting, and I'll go into that later on in this course. But for the most part, it's going to be about promising that visibility and a retainer. Now, Another way you can go with this is offering sort of deliverables, and this is like you're helping them, but you're not promising the end result. So you're not saying it's going to increase visibility. You're not saying it's going to do anything for the business, but you're promising, X amount of listicle placements or listicle outreach, or you're going to get them reviews, or you're going to optimize the website to show up in AI more, that kind of thing. I like the retainer model more because I think you can open your market a lot more, and you can you can have an easier sell, and the retainer is just nice and recurring. You get more clients, you get bigger revenue. I think that's a nice model to go with. Now, the next part in this bit is, do you do this as like a new service to your existing agency, or do you create a brand new agency to sell this? Now, if you haven't already got an SEO agency, if you're sort of starting brand new, I think it's very viable just to create a new GEO agency. I think it's a growing market and it's a growing need. It is a part of SEO. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a channel, but there are people that specialize in different search engines. There's people that specialize in PPC, people that specialize in organic on Google, and this is no different to that. Starting a GEO agency is just going to be a new niche in the organic market, and I think specialists will be needed. And I think it's a great decision just to start a new one. If you've got an existing SEO agency, this could be a new service that you offer. This is something else to consider. So when you get your leads coming in, you don't want to be selling GEO. You don't want to be selling like, we're going to get you visibility, whatever. That's obviously what you're going to do. That's the offer. But the leads coming in, I think you should be selling some kind of assessment, some kind of audit, an AI audit on their website, how much they're showing up in AI, where the gaps are, how much their competitors are showing up in AI. And you can do that for free or for a really low cost. But you should run all of your marketing to this AI assessment or AI audit. That's the way I would do it. You imagine, you're targeting dentists, and so you run the ads to dentists on Facebook. You have an ad saying, "Are you AI ready? Hey dentists, are you AI ready?" And it goes to a page with a video. You can do a video at the top, and then it's a really short form or a type form, something like that. And they enter their details, and you promise to deliver them back like a Loom video going over all the details and all the stats of how AI ready they are. And the offer is, look, we can fix all this and we can get you in AI, we can get you more visibility. It costs $2,500. Or you can do a one-off cost for like 3 months or something for them to test the water if that's an easier sell. But I think with this assessment to retainer, I think is going to be a good model to go with on this GEO agency. And then with the website stuff, you just want something professional. You can use a website like Card, which I really like, just to build a one pager. Like, remember, all you're doing to begin with is selling this assessment. You just need some kind of VSL and a little form on it. I won't worry too much. There's also a tool called Perspective, and I really like this as a landing page tool. But it's actually quite a nice funnel builder. So if you do want to like get a little bit fancy with the funnel, ask them a few questions and stuff, it is quite nice for that. So one of those tools, I wouldn't worry about how it looks or building like loads of pages on your website about us, worrying about logos. Just to go over this first bit now, like building your agency brand, the most important thing here is getting your niche, who you're targeting, your positioning, the offer. Are you going to do a retainer, or are you going to sell like little separate services? Is this going to be a brand new agency, or is it going to be like a bolt-on to your existing agency? And then how it is you're getting the leads in will be doing this, selling the audit. So you get the audit first, give them a quick report, lead it into a call, sell the retainer. That would be the way that I would go for this initially. Now, obviously, you've got to get these clients, and the way that you're doing it is you're getting people to the GEO audit if you're selling like a GEO retainer. Now, I would, if you've got some kind of network, I would look at getting 2 testimonials. This is just going to really help give you confidence in selling the service. It's going to help others have confidence in using you. So yeah, I would look at your network, see if you've got some people in your target niche that you can just do free work for, and just say, look, don't pay me. I'm starting this agency and I just want to get some testimonials. I'll do this for free. You'll increase your visibility. I just want a video testimonial and a post about my service that I can use on my marketing. Get that first if you can. Obviously, if you're building this agency in your spare time, or you've already got an agency, you've got the liberty of like being able to do this just without risk, really. So I would get these 2 testimonials before you really burn the boats and go for this. So once you've got those 2 testimonials, you can leverage. I've got LinkedIn first here, but I wouldn't focus on that first. I would put cold email and ads as your big ones. Now, if you're low on money, cold email is great because it's really low cost. It's simply about using Instantly, buying a few domains, emailing your target market. You can go on Fiverr.com, and there's lots of lead gen services that you can get. So let's take a look. So some here, look, B2B lead generation, 12 quid. B2B lead generation, prospect list building, 4 quid. A lot of these will build your list of leads. You probably want to spend a little bit more on that to find a really good one, but you just look through the reviews. I mean, look at this, 1K reviews, 4.9. You might be okay. It's going to be a good way to get your first few customers. So if you've got very little money, you want to build a list of let's just go with the dentist example. You want to build a list of dentists, and you want to outreach to them. And remember, you're not selling AI services here. Like this is where a lot of people on cold email get mixed up. You want to sell them the fact that they can get an audit from you for free. So I'd be sending the email something like let me try and get this right in one go, but something like, hey, I was just on your website and I found lots of AI queries where your competitors shown up but not you. Do you want me to say, is this the right email to send them over to? Something like that. So obviously tweak the wording a bit, but what you're saying is, hey, I'm on your website. I found lots of AI queries where your competitors shown up but not you. So you're getting this real FOMO in there. Is this the right email to send the info to? So you're not asking them, can I send you the info? You're not like coming from a place of weakness. You're saying, I'm going to send you this info. Is this the right email? So immediately puts them into a position of, okay, yeah, I guess so. What would it hurt? So then you can send them a little bit of info then on that email. But what you want to do is get them to agree to a full audit. And a full audit will give them all the information they need, where they're not showing up, where they are showing up, how you can help it, and then get them onto a retainer. And then the next one here, the one that I prefer is ads, because with ads, you can just push everyone in your market to a landing page where they can book this audit, this GEO audit. So again, with this is what's so good to have a niche, because we can target dentists, we can target head of marketing at dentists, we can target owners of dentists in a particular area if we want, or just everywhere nationwide or all over the world if we want. And we can target them with roughly the same ad saying, hey, dentists, where are you prepared for AI? Are you prepared for AI? You can throw some stats in there. I mean, we had a look at our stats the other day, and actually AI converts to like 10% for us, whereas organic converts at 4%. So already it's like over double. So us appearing in AI is going to be inevitable. Like it's a channel that we're going to focus on big time. So yeah, your ad, you can test some ads, start some static image ads, maybe try some video ads, but you want to get some ads into your landing page where you're selling this audit. And again, I'm just putting a note here to build a simple funnel. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't want loads of steps in this. You just want the funnel to be book the audit, and maybe they get a call with that as well. Maybe you follow up with a call. That would be totally up to you. But all I'm saying is do a simple funnel to the ad and try and get these audits done. Remember, like not everyone who has an audit is going to want your service. You're probably looking at like 10% of people who have the audit are going to want your service. So you need to work out the costs, and you don't want to spend too much time on this audit. If you can automate it some way using tools, which we're going to go into later on in this as well. So yeah, that covers the client side of it. So just to kind of do a bit of a summary on that, get your 2 testimonials first, then do your cold email if you're low on budget, do your ads. If you've got some budget, simple funnel, you want to get them to do the audit. I did miss this one out, LinkedIn. I think it's good if you've got a bit of an audience already to start talking about this. It's going to be a great way to get people asking questions about AI. You know, everyone's asking about it, but yeah, I would focus on the cold email and the ads first. Now, how to deliver this? Like, how do you actually deliver LLM rankings? So first of all, a lot of it is SEO as usual. So for someone to appear in AI, your perfect clients will already have good SEO. So they'll be ranking for stuff, and they'll have high DR, they'll have an established website. These are going to be perfect clients. And I would try and kind of like filter these out. So if you get loads of inquiries, for people who are just starting the business, it's probably not going to be a great channel for them to focus on it initially. You want to have companies that have already got like a good SEO foundation, because these are going to be the ones where you can really piggyback off that SEO stuff. So you want to be looking at on their website how their content is structured. So you want to make sure there's lots of FAQ stuff. You want to make sure there's lots of stuff about the company, structured data. Questions are great. There can be buying guides on the website as well. Informational content is good. So in the example of dentists, we know that informational content is not doing great on search anymore in terms of clicks. But actually, if someone's researching like dental treatments and you've got like guides on this and you're coming up as a source, that's going to be a great way of showing visibility. So informational content, making sure there's lots of data about the company, lots of data about every single dental treatment or surgery and that kind of thing. Make sure there's loads of stuff about why the company's the best, why people should choose that company, areas that they serve, treatments that they do. Costs is going to be a big one. The more ChatGPT knows about the brand, the more it's going to be confident in showing up. So I would look at that kind of thing as well. So SEO as usual. If the company hasn't got SEO and maybe you do that, offer that as a service as well, obviously your retainer change a little bit because you've got to do SEO and GEO. So just consider that as well. Maybe you just want to be a GEO specialist and you don't want to mess around with that stuff. That means your customers have got to have this SEO foundation. And, maybe some of your leads won't, in which case your GEO is going to be pretty useless. One of the main things to focus on with GEO is brand mentions. So making sure the brand is being mentioned positively across like blogs, media sites. Brand mentions in listicles are really good. So like having the brand mentioned with a USP is going to be really good. And what I mean by USP is, for example, Fat Joe, my agency, our USP is we're completely designed for resellers and agencies. A lot of our competitors are designed for everyone and brands, and they do everything, for anyone. Whereas we're designed specifically for agencies. So all of our features, our services, our advice on our website, our setup, our positioning is all based around this USP. So when we get mentioned in listicles, we've got this kind of like brand salience. So like Fat Joe, best for agencies. So getting mentioned with that is going to be really good for getting featured in LLMs as well, because LLMs don't like to just give a list of like ordered results. They like to give a list of this brand is good for this, and this brand is good for this, and this brand is good for this. So if someone was searching for best CRM, they would say this CRM is best for small businesses. This CRM is best for big businesses. This CRM is best if you like a lot of features. This CRM is expensive, but it's got all the integrations. So they like to give all these options with some kind of USP or brand salience. So encouraging those kind of mentions and encouraging those kind of brand mentions across the web with that USP is going to be key. The USP is good as well because ChatGPT and other AI tools, they know who's searching, they know the history, and they know what they're looking for in general based on chat history. So your potential clients are going to get shown your brand more if you are obviously for them. And the way that you teach the LLMs that you're obviously for them is by having this brand salience, having something that goes along with your brand. So these brand mentions are going to be key, I think. Having this brand salience is going to be key. Make sure that you look at that stuff and you get that down in the initial audit, you get that down in the initial onboarding. We do have some services for this. So just to let you know about this first one, which is brand mentions. We're also going to have some community mentions, which involves Reddit and Quora and stuff like that. But this first one, brand mentions, is doing exactly what I've just described, where we get the brand on placements all over the web with a USP. So they give us the USP, and we make sure that the brand get mentioned with that USP on sort of like media sites, blog posts, that kind of thing, and then they get used in the LLMs. They get used as citations. So ChatGPT is reading these as long as they rank, so you've got to make sure the placements rank. ChatGPT use these if they integrate the web search in the query, which most will for commercial queries now. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely key. More of these, and the more solidifying of that USP, the better. Then the next one I think that will be really helpful is making sure the brand is set up to get good reviews. So Trustpilot, G2, Google reviews, that kind of thing. Make sure that the company has a system set up to encourage these kind of reviews, because ChatGPT is looking at these reviews. It's looking at them as like, it's using it as it's augmenting its recommendations based off the reviews it's getting, not only on blog posts, but in Trustpilot, all over the web. So make sure there's a system set up so the company can get regular reviews. Make sure the system's set up to encourage good reviews, obviously. You want the company to be looking at bad reviews and sorting them out so that there's not as many of them, or that there isn't any at all, hopefully, because ChatGPT likes to be diplomatic and give good things, bad things about the company. So I would look at this stuff and I would make sure those systems are set up. The other thing I've got on this point is like conversations. So like ChatGPT and other search engines are looking at Reddit, they're looking at Quora. So along with brand mentions, you want to be looking at not only in blog posts and media sites, but you want to be looking at in the general communities across the web. Not only Reddit, Quora, but general forums and wherever the brand can be spoken about. Make sure you've got a system set up where either ambassadors from the company can join in conversations, or fans of the company, or if you go slightly grey hat with this, you can like infiltrate these conversations and start talking about good things about the company. Depends how far you want to go with that, but they are certainly being used in generated answers. So I'd be looking at that as a priority as well. And then help docs, kind of like the first point, is kind of like your on-site SEO stuff, but I'd make sure that everything in the business is documented in terms of services, prices, who it's for, FAQs. I'd make sure that there's no stone left unturned. I'd make sure it's completely obvious who the business is for, what it does, features, integration, services, prices, even the opening times, the customer service times, when it got incorporated, who founded it, meet the team, who does what in the team. The more ChatGPT and the more AI knows about your company or about your client's company, the more confident it will be in serving up them as a recommendation. Even if they have to serve up bad things about that company, it just knows a lot more about the company, so it can be more confident in doing that. And then the other thing to look at is reporting. So Reporting at the minute, I've not been like super impressed with, but there are solutions at the moment. So let me just fix that. So one of the ones that I've been liking at the moment is Profound. So Profound is, so it's not logging me in at the minute. Let's have a look. Okay, it is. So Profound so far is quite expensive, and I've only got it working on my own website, which is Fat Joe. But yeah, it will show the visibility over time. You can put in the prompts that you want it to use. So you can literally type in the prompts. It will come up with prompts for you as well if you haven't really got any idea. And then it will show you the visibility rank, the visibility score, citation share. And basically what it does, it will get your prompts and it will just keep repeating them over and over again a few times a day over time from different IPs and different countries and all sorts to try and get some kind of objective visibility score. And it kind of works, and this would be great, you know, if you had multiple clients, you could put them all in here and you can show them this stuff. It's quite expensive at the moment, so, you know, I'd certainly be looking at some other options if I was low on budget and I didn't have that many clients and my clients weren't paying me that much, but it's a good one to just test out how these things work. Another one is GEO. Just to mention with Profound, what I liked about it is you can just sign up without having to speak to anyone. With GEO, I met the founder at a conference recently, and he's got a really good idea about how these things should work. So I think this would be a really great product. Unfortunately, you do have to book a call and everything. Oh, not now. Okay, so it's letting you sign up, I believe, now. So I will test that out because I wasn't able to sign up before without a call, and I don't want to get on a call. So GEO is another one. LLM Refs is another one. So LLM Refs is basically a cheaper version from what I remember. Yes, so it's $79 a month. I'm not sure if that's for one website or just across multiple. You can use 50 keywords across multiple. This guy is very active on LinkedIn, and I have tried it actually. Yeah, I have tried it, and it was all right. Yeah, so that's one to look at. And then another one from Dixon Jones is Wakai. I don't know how you say it. But I'll be looking at these because ChatGPT, Google AI, whatever it is, even Google itself now, is not about the clicks, it's more about visibility. So we need to be able to report on this. We can't really attribute it back to revenue, we can't attribute it to traffic. One thing we have got is visibility. If your visibility is going up, you can bet that your direct traffic is going up. You can bet your conversion is going up because people are having conversations on ChatGPT. They're not just being shown a link. They're having conversations and they're getting sold to. So it's like having a little salesman working for you full time. You know, if you can feed ChatGPT all the info that it can get about your brand. So yeah, that's the way I'll be doing reporting. I'll be using one of those tools. Test them out yourself. But yeah, just to go over this, building your agency first, building your agency brand. You need to have a good position. You need to have good niche. You need to have good offer. I'd be looking at getting clients from cold email or ads. Send it to a simple funnel where you're selling a AI audit. I say selling, but make it free or really low cost. From that AI audit, you want to get them on the call and sell them a retainer to increase the visibility. I'd look at 3-month contracts. It doesn't have to be a contract where you write, the sign it in the blood and everything. I'll just encourage that it's a 3-month deal. You're going to increase it over 3 months, and at that point, if you haven't, you can say goodbye. I've gone over how to rank in the LLMs. Obviously, it's SEO as usual for the most part. You need to have a good foundation of SEO, but then it's brand mentioned reviews and your on-site help docs, your on-site structured content, information about your product, information about your services. It's all very bottom of funnel stuff, but you want to make sure you're giving everything to ChatGPT that it possibly can get its hands on to be confident about your service and to recommend it to people who possibly would be a great client or customer of yours. And then reporting, you want to be looking at Profound, QNO, LLM refs, Wakai, can't say it, but maybe one day someone will teach me how to say it. And you want to be looking at visibility, not clicks. So there's the roundup of this. I hope that makes sense and hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to drop some links to this in the comments, so you've got this written down as well. I'll tidy up a bit first, but yeah, let me know how you get on in building your GEO agency. If you want more help with this kind of stuff, we've got a community for agencies, which is scalers.so. It's free for now. And if you want to help with the deliverables, such as brand mentions, community mentions, go to fatjoe.com and you'll see it in the menu bar for services. Thank you.